So just a quick video today. Over the last few days, I've been playing with this system a lot, doing a lot of tweaks, a lot of testing. I've actually quite enjoyed working out various drivers and compatibility issues. The good news is that with a clean install of Windows 98, the majority of the problems have been resolved. So there definitely seems to be a driver issue with Windows 2000. I tested this video card in an Athlon 1.2 gig as well with Windows 2000, and it had the same crashing issues. So with Windows 98, I've got it running quite nicely. I've done a couple of tweaks to the system. So I've upgraded it to a 3.2 gig Northwood Pentium 4. I've added an extra half gig of RAM, so it's running with a gig of RAM in dual channel, and I've installed the Windows 98 unofficial service pack 2.1A to make sure that that RAM runs nicely. We've been doing some benchmarks in the Voodoo 5-6000 user group on Facebook, and we're sort of competing with each other a bit. There's about 3 of us with this card. I've been able to crack the 7600 3D Marks in 3D Mark 2000. I overclocked the PCI bus to 36 megahertz. If I go to the 40 megahertz, it stops detecting the hard disk. I think that's because it's SATA. If I switch to an IDE drive, that may work. So that'll be probably another thing to do. So the card's running. As you can see, I've got Serious Sam running here. Now this game's an interesting one. It actually still crashes, but I'll explain that in a little bit of detail. But as you can see here, this is running at 1024, and it's running really nicely. So I'm getting about 100% scaling in Serious Sam versus a Voodoo 5 5500. I got out my PCI version, which is flashed to PC, which is great. It's not Mac, and I had it running in this machine while doing some testing. And so Quake 3 scales not quite 100%, but very close, and Serious Sam scaling 100%. So I was getting like 38 frames versus 76 in Serious Sam, and like 40 mid-high 40s versus 86 in Quake 3. So yeah, it's scaling really nicely. But there is a bug, and this I actually thought was an issue with the video card potentially at first, and that's what I showed in my last video where we had the graphical corruption on the screen. But I was able to replicate a similar crash with the Voodoo 5 5500. I've been having a chat to Anthony. He's such a great guy. He's been helping me do some testing with it. And the weird graphical corruption that we saw in that last video is actually the VSA chips desyncing, is what he said. So a power off just resets that properly, basically. So I didn't get that desync issue with the 5500, but I did get a hard crash as well. So I'm assuming with the PCI bridge that's on board, there's some slight differences, but I actually think this card is perfect, and there's definitely a driver issue. So he's given me a few other drivers to try. I haven't done that yet, but I will be doing that in future. So yeah, I want to do a proper video with everything working, but at the moment I've just been playing with it and comparing results with other people and troubleshooting, and it's actually been quite a fun little card to play around with. In 3D, Direct 3D games, the scaling is not nearly as good, but still, it is still better than the Voodoo 5 5500, but definitely Glide and OpenGL games is where it's at. In Unreal Tournament, I was able to get 113 frames a second at 1280 by 1024 with max everything, so I think that's pretty impressive, really. So yeah, the card is running great, other than Serious Sam crashing in specific areas. Like there's in the single player map, you can go to a specific place and it causes a crash. So I'm going to try the reference drivers later. These ones have worked pretty well though for everything else, and I'm getting pretty good results in all the testing I've been doing. So I just wanted to give you guys a very quick update. I do want to try and do a proper video of it in future, but for now, if you're interested to see how we're going, you can join the Facebook group. We're posting screenshots, and various people have got like an Athlon 64 or other Pentium 4s, so we've got some good benchmarks going. So that's just a quick update, and we'll go from there. Thanks.